Hola, ¿cómo está? How are you guys doing? Happy Tuesday. It has been an interesting week. I went on a little bit of an adventure, and then Mercury retrograde had its way with things, and things kind of moved around a little bit, and we adapted and shifted. And I am back, so it's good to be back. And so Saturday I did a written reading, which is up on Kindred Heart Tarot on Facebook. If you wanted to take a look at that, go ahead. So today we'll take a look at the energies, what's going on. The intent that I put out to the universe for today's reading is what's going to help motivate us, what's going to help guide and uplift us through these energies, as a lot of us are having to be patient with this next step, but there's so much happening, but there might not be a lot of external movement or kind of proof or assurance of these things. And so you're really having to tap into your, hi Kathy, guidance and inner strength, like really having to have fortitude to believe in what you've already manifested in terms of planting seeds and making all those decisions in the past with the intention of living your best life. So that is what I put out to the universe today. What can help us understand the present energies so that we can move forward with inspiration, motivation? And so I've used the Shapeshifter deck by Lucy Cavendish, Wisdom of Avalon, and that's Colette Baron Reid. And then this one, Pauline Cassidy, she's got the Fairy Oracle. So those are the ones I've used. And I pulled one card from my Galactic Goth Oracle just as a little clarity card to the side. So we'll see what's going on for the general read for Tarot Tuesday. And then I'm actually going to pop on and I'm going to complete the Tarotscapes and do Aquarius and Pisces. So if you are Aquarius or Pisces or you want to cross watch for those are going to be coming up this afternoon. So I'm really excited to have all 12 finished and up for you guys. So let's get started and see what's going on for these energies. So we have Sacred Beetle Armor. This is for the past position. You have a Mighty Shield. This one resonates to the number 11. And so that is a master number. So there's been some interesting energies of protection going on. And I'll just read the first little bit of this card in particular. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so 38. So this one says, sometimes we need to have a shield up. And who better to demonstrate this than this beautiful fairy? It says physic shield, not psychic, and her faithful companion, the mighty Atlas beetle. At this time, you need to have friends too, a strong shield that you develop from your thought forms. Yes, it is right to be open, warm, bright, and very well. These beautiful qualities can and must be developed, and they have been. But at this time, your openness and vulnerability have been spied by one who wishes to interfere, drain energy, and even hurt you. Please do not be afraid. You are very strong, and this card says you have all the means necessary to put a final end to this form of interference. So what this kind of reminds me of is that psychic distraction. So when you are moving from one energetic level to the next level, we have all of these tests and initiations that Spirit sends to us through experience or through people that really help us understand where we are in terms of our learning and our growth. Have we learned lessons of protecting ourselves from takers? Have we learned lessons of where to understand when there is an imbalance in terms of energy? And also, at the other end of the spectrum in terms of darkness and light and shadow work, when can we say this is toxic and I need to bow out instead of engaging and thinking that we can fix or transform something that needs to die and be in that death energy? And so in terms of when to detach and when to let go. So this card is saying in the past, we have developed this openness and this vulnerability with the beginnings of boundaries and healthy shields of protection, because we do need those shields when you don't have walls, and walls are kind of a subconscious, unconscious energy to protect yourself from danger, but you're also not letting love in. You're not able to be vulnerable because you have these walls. So boundaries are a lot different. What it's saying is when you are in that energy of vulnerability and compassion and kind of changing energy levels, somebody put their eyes on you in terms of, can I manipulate? Can I control this person? Are they willing to give their energy over to me? Am I a distraction that's going to work for them at this point? And in terms of your lessons and growth and your magic and power at this point, you should be well aware of what it feels like to have a loss of power in terms of situations. It could be coworkers, it could be lovers. What happens when you give your power away? And that is consciously and subconsciously. But at this point here in your learning and your evolution and growth, you should understand when you're giving your power away and how that feels, how it feels depleted, and you go into an energy of chaos and disruption and confusion and questioning yourself, questioning others, because the energy is so off balance that you are really struggling to put it all together. And they have totally distracted you from your intent, from your focus, which is your service, which is your life path, and being balanced within and without. So somebody in your circle in the recent past perhaps has been eyeing up and gauging how strong they think you are. Now, a lot of us have an inner depth that can't be seen from someone assessing from that perspective of a hunter or a manipulative person kind of going, just pushing your boundaries very subtly in the beginning to see if they can manipulate you, if you qualify in terms of their understanding of what they can manipulate. So it's a very intriguing semi-warning, just going, hey, guess what? This person might be in your field. You might be like in someone's scope, so to speak, in terms of whether or not you are still vulnerable enough to buy their bullshit, I guess. Or whether you have seen through it, you've moved forward, would they need to level up in order for you to actually accept this behavior back in, and you are there, I feel. So let's see what the clarifying cards have to say. The Serpent, knowledge and healing. I love this. So this one resonates to number 5, changes. You're no longer accepting this type of behavior. So in the past, this person, you might not have been able to really catch this hunter. You know, they might have gotten under the radar just by being perhaps nice and generous and kind at first. You might have had some inkling that, like something here isn't quite as I suspect. And now you're getting really good at identifying that behavior. You might not speak it as your truth, but you would have a bit of a shield up against certain people that you know might have ulterior motives. And this energy of healing, it is really sacred healing to look at that behavior and understand that that is that person's karma, that is that person's energy, manipulation tools that come from trauma, and how they survive, how they have learned to survive. It doesn't have to be your story anymore. You can deconstruct that, and you can call out bullshit when you see it. You can call out a liar when you see it. If someone's words and actions aren't matching up, you can say, hey, guess what? You don't practice what you preach, and your energy is totally off here. You said you were going to do this, and all I see is this. So if you want to, if you want me to trust you, I need to see that your actions meet your words. So does your word mean anything? Or is it just, pipe dreams? So very interesting that we're healing the energy of having walls versus vulnerability and boundaries, and also being willing to say, that person is not in their truth, therefore I cannot trust them, right? And if they do not come to me in the proper energy, which is aligned with where I'm headed in my service, which is trust, honesty, integrity along those lines, then you have all the power to say no. And now that you have understood your energy is more sacred and that you do have the right to protect that energy, you'll say it with confidence and assertiveness now, instead of kind of being like, can I say no to someone? Can I say no, I don't want to spend time with you? You're just not right for me. Or, I find that I get anxious. You don't have to say this to the person, but if you get anxious around someone, you can withdraw your energies from that person. So it's really nice and clear here so far that we're healing this energy of off balance between takers or people who kind of hunt us for energy. And it sounds a little bit harsh, but it's true. So let's see what we have to clarify that. It says happiness. Happiness is an overall state of complete being. And you know how people dig under the skin? They can only get under the skin. They can only find your weaknesses and insecurities through what you believe to be your insecurities and weaknesses, through how you behave, through how you act, through how you speak, or how you treat yourself or treat another person. It all reflects how you really feel in terms of your inner contentment, your inner happiness. So this overall state of being, your overall state of being is healing, so you can bring more happiness into your life. And what that means is there's not going to be as many kind of loopholes or breaches in your psychic shield for manipulators to get into. And they might get under your skin for a minute, but you're going to see them pretty quickly, and you're going to have no more hesitation in terms of you're not walking on eggshells anymore. No. If someone's energy is making you feel that way, then you have the power to withdraw. And you can call it as you see it. You can call it out, and you can take a step back. So your overall state of being, your level of happiness and balance and inner peace is a priority right now. So that is really, really awesome and powerful. I didn't really do introductions at the beginning. And so I just want to remind any new viewers and or subscribers, you can also find me on Facebook at Kindred Heart Tarot. When I complete a reading such as this, which is a general psychic channel tarot read, I usually pull private cards for anyone who's online, who's watching, or if you're at work and I'm on and you have the chance to come on and say, hey, pull a card for me, I'll do that too. So when you catch the replay, the message will be there and waiting for you. I love it when you guys give me a thumbs up. If you're enjoying the content, it's free content. If you're enjoying it and resonating with it, if you can give me a thumbs up, that would be amazing. It just supports the channel and helps it grow. And you can also book private readings at this time. The scheduling link is on Kindred Heart Tarot. So, and also you can donate if you like to the channel. There is a PayPal link. You don't have to, but if you feel like buying a coffee or a deck for the channel, that's where you can do it. Just put a little note on it and I can thank you. So we'll go into the present energies because the past was really clear. Healing our overall state of being so that we're less susceptible, we're less vulnerable to people who are more in that predator energy and are just used to taking. They haven't had an awakening yet to the off balance nature of that taking energy. So what do we have for present? We have the mermaid and the turtle. This is so cute. I don't think I've ever gotten this card before. Resonating to the number 7. It says an elder will teach you. This is really, really beautiful. I've been reading some books on shamanism and just tales. I don't know if you guys have read any Lynn B. Andrews. I was basically directed to her books pretty early on in my awakening journey. And so I tend to find that I will find other books that she has written and released at certain points in my learning. And I do feel that many of us are taught by spirit and the universe instead of having a physical mentor. But I do also feel like there are some elders, I think, that are getting intuitive medicine, intuitive energy as to who they might be working with coming up. Because as we align with our overall state of being, as we heal from those energies of the past and we're no longer in as much of a wounding energy, that allows us to be ready as a learner, as a student, to take on more learning. And you might be like, no, but this allows us to take the next step in our learning. And at this stage, we do need an elder to help us understand the, I think, gravity, the importance of our kind of mission, so to speak. I wanted to find a better word than mission, but that's the only one that I could come up with in that time. But I think you guys understand what I'm saying. So we might have teachers coming in to help us get to this next stage where we're stable in our learning and not as questioning. But we know we will have initiations, we know we will have tests, but we're better able to surrender to them instead of fighting and resisting them. So I'm going to read. And also something interesting that I'm really noticing from this card is her eyes have a rainbow energy here. And many of you watching, many of you who are tuning in, or you'll catch this video down the road because it is timeless, you are a rainbow warrior. And what that means is you do have healing energy. You do have a double mission in this lifetime, whether you're starseed, earth angel, whatever you want to be labeled as. Some of those labels help our ego and help us feel important, but some of them you know inherently to be true in your soul, that you came here for a reason, you came here to serve, and that there's still energy to unfold in terms of why you've sacrificed what you've sacrificed and what is coming down the pipe. Why did you need to be that stable and learn those lessons at such a young age and or at this point in your life for what's ahead? So let's get an idea of what is going on here. So 25, and I'm intrigued because I don't think I've got this one before. It is highly unlikely that a literal, experienced tribal elder will step forward in garb of feather and bone to guide you today, though such beings can appear in vision and in disguise. And this one is interesting, and I feel very strongly that these teachers will be in disguise. You might not automatically feel like you want to honor this person's knowledge and wisdom. It might come in a different package, so to speak, but it will be someone who's sent to you for the purpose of your life path. So it says, and in disguise, as shapeshifters, they can become almost anyone. So while it may seem that there is no witch with her cauldron of transformation at the ready, no green man to take you into the deep beneath of the underworld and help you to be reborn, there are ancient ones who are ready to teach you the deep knowledge of the planet and her oceans, and they come to you in many ways. And the turtle, has origins from the very beginnings of time. And they come to you in many ways. At this time, it is the turtles who will speak with you, letting you know of your very old soul. And we're also on page 111 for those of you that pay attention to numerology and synchronicity in that way. So your very old soul, and whispering words that reawaken knowledge that is deep and in the blood and the bones of the mother's seas. The goddess Sedna may also be speaking to you of her journey from a victim to a being who gave the gift of creation to the creatures of the deep oceans. This really connects in with the sacred beetle armor, going from that energy of being victimized or being able to be victimized more easily because the vulnerability wasn't matched with that protection, wasn't stabilized or equalized with that energy of protection. Her pain was transformed, and with this new knowledge, you too will transform your wounds and losses into wonders, knowledge, and imaginations that bring you closer to the true reality we all live in as the world changes again. Wow. This one is really, really powerful and beautiful. So the depth of the Earth Mother energy here is great. You might have dreams of starseed family, so galactic beings coming through. And the thing with shape-shifting is they might come through as a little kid in your dream. So depending on where you are and what you'll be familiar with, you might have someone come in as a little kid. You might have an actual sea turtle in a dream, showing you where to go for a certain treasure, a certain understanding, a certain conversation. It could be an elder, or what you would consider to be an elder in your dreamscape, in your imagination. However, there is something to be learned here, and it comes from the depths of the earth. It comes from that grounding where you feel nurtured, where you feel the wonder of the universe again, and you know your power in it. You know that you're a part of the web that is so intricately unfolding, and that you have an important part of this mission coming up, and that you deserve to have a little bit of guidance at this stage, and that is coming through. You'll have to discern the information coming here. Now, just as a quick aside, because it does resonate with the book that I said I was reading, sometimes if there's a powerful magic energy that's at work, and we've already talked about the protection and the shield, this is talking about an elder that will assist you, but you may have to be aware of people who come in with the guise of being an elder, with the guise of being trusted. Excuse me. I've got a little itch in my nose just at that point. So be careful depending on where you are in your journey. If you know this, you're going, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, because you have just come upon shapeshifter medicine, shapeshifter energy, where there are shapeshifters that will play on your vulnerability by coming in as someone very sweet, by coming in as someone gentle. But you will be able to figure out what they're at if you are totally in your power and in your intuition. So be very aware of who you give your power and your trust over to at this point. But in general, there is an elder medicine and energy coming in to teach you, right? So let's clarify that medicine. Birth and rebirth, number 50. So we've got a lot of 5 energy here. So we're definitely undergoing this transformation. And notice how it doesn't say death and rebirth. So birth and rebirth for me also indicates that we have come through a very important time in our lives, trials, tribulations, challenges, where we've gone from one level to the next. And now Spirit is going, you know what, you did an amazing job transforming, metamorphosizing from one to the other. Now we're going to change again. We're going to rebirth again as we move through this energy that the elder medicine is coming in to teach you. To clarify that, we have wisdom. Your divine inner wisdom is always available to you. I'm just going to have a sip of tea here. Okay, so this is where your wisdom and the wisdom of the universe, come together. So you are an elder in your own right, but there is an elder to you as well. We all go through the learner and the student and the teacher and the elder. Excuse me. So, and this is, of course, you know, if you watch readers, you do know when you get a tickle in your throat or when you get a little itch in your nose, usually that means something. So it means that it's connected to our throat chakra. It's connected to our ability to speak our truth, to communicate our wisdom. Can you stand in your wisdom? So do you know what your wisdom is worth? And that's part of what makes you inherently valuable, right? That's part of what your tools and resources are that you've gained along all the sacrifices that you've been through. So you are gaining wisdom, and this is also birth and rebirth. It's kind of like going from the elder to the fool and then back and forth. It does feel like a little bit of whiplash at times because you're confident and assertive, and then all of a sudden you switch to vulnerable and uncertain. And you can have the confidence and assertiveness within that vulnerability and uncertainty, but you have to maintain your strength and integrity as a medicine woman or man, and be confident in moving forward with what you do know and what you don't know. So let's move forward into the future position. Beauty and the Beast. You need some space in a relationship, number 8. Now, we all kind of know this energy. And so if we think about the Beauty and the Beast energy, she is super, super, compassionate, naive, innocent, and she is entrapped by that situation. She doesn't have the ability to simply just leave, right? And so she has to actually work with this tyrant, this energy, her, someone who's holding her captive. Now, in this card, it talks about kind of the energy from the beginning, the sacred beetle armor. So if this energy comes through your workplace, your family members, it could be a date, could be a lover, or a relationship where there's an energy that's off balance. It's not fair, it's not equal, it's not even. One person is controlling the other person. It could be subtly through manipulation, gaslighting, abusive psychological tactics. It could simply be through money. I have the money, you can't do this, you can't do that, or you're not allowed to go out with those friends because those friends might, show you that I'm an a-hole or whatnot, right? But this energy, this is important. This person is trying to silence you, because it just caught really strongly in my throat there as well. This person will try to silence your wisdom or make you question yourself in a way, or this energy. So you have to be very, very careful of this Beauty and the Beast energy. It just means that, in our life, we do have adversaries, I guess, or the good enemy, so to speak, where you meet this person and they flip your life upside down, or the situation flips your life upside down. You wouldn't consider them a friend. You wouldn't consider that, you wouldn't necessarily be grateful right from the start, because you don't really look at someone who manipulates and controls you and go, oh, wow, I'm really, really grateful that you were in my life. You don't do that right away. You do that through learning and sacrificing and surrendering to the lessons that you learned afterwards. And so this one is saying, be careful, watch out. You had those shields up for a reason. If someone gets under your skin and is being a tyrant in your life, trying to control you, trying to, she does have this necklace here, diminish your words, diminish your wisdom, then it's time to take a step back. And if you already have, continue your, taking space until the energy is right. You cannot let that energy back in unless it is right. And that means balance. That means someone's done the work. That means the actions meet the words. That means there's a reason you trust that energy, because you can feel that there's a difference. You can feel that there's no underlying goal or aim that's coming through, but there is definitely an energy of things not being as they appear, and an energy of someone who's being dominated and controlled by another. So there we go. Let's see what the clarifying card for this one is. Here we go. The Owl, deception and wisdom. So resonating to the number 4. Those of us who are tarot readers, we know what the owl means. And it also is connected to Athena, right? Like the energy of Athena, the energy of the owl having the wisdom. But you have to also be connected to your high priestess energy. So this owl is your friend. This owl, and you can do visualizations as well. I've practiced with saying, okay, my totem owl, if you sense energy that's not good, bring me a branch of thorns in your mouth. if you sense something off. And if not, if this is wisdom, you could bring me a branch with like a flower in it or whatnot. You could also say, tighten your talons or tighten your claws in my shoulder. If visualize like a owl perched on your shoulder, if you have a question about someone in particular, or you want to go through people you think the energy might be a little off. The issue with this is I don't want you to go off and be anxious and paranoid about who might be trying to deceive you. What's going on here? Universe will show you, okay? This will naturally unfold. You don't need to go digging around, so to speak, but it is a good idea to tap into your intuition right off the hop and just kind of get to that level where you're fearless in this energy. Okay, someone's deceiving me. All right, we'll figure it out. We'll move forward. I have the power to cut this person off. I have the power to say no. I have the power to walk away now. Whereas before you might have thought, well, if that person makes my life a little bit more comfortable, I might not cut them off. But now you know the price of doing that. The price is always much higher than if you were to originally cut that person off in the first place. So somebody is not being truthful. They're not being honest. They're wearing a mask. And the Beauty and the Beast card suggests that it's a pretty blatant one. So, even in Beauty and the Beast, the Beast wasn't necessarily hiding his ferocity, wasn't hiding his anger issues and the controlling issues. Well, you will come to dinner. You will eat with us. And how afraid all the staff and the servant staff were. So this person might not actually be so covert. They might actually be blatantly an asshole. But what does Belle do? She really looks at the potential and the kindness, and she goes from that mothering approach. This energy is saying, no, because that is still keeping you trapped in that energy, but you have the key the whole time to remove yourself from this energy. And you have the wisdom to maneuver this situation. And it's in our future position. So this also means it could be someone coming in. And the energy, to clarify this, is passion. Passion is an inner flame that will keep you striving toward your vision. So what I get with this is this person or this energy is a distraction. Are you going to let yourself go off path and be manipulated, confused, go into a chaotic energy, an energy that brings you anxiety? Or are you going to stay focused on your passion? You're going to stay focused on what's important to you at this time, because many of you have mission or purpose that is unfolding really quickly in terms of spirit time. It might seem a little bit slow for us here on Earth, but things are unfolding really quick. And once this opportunity comes forward for you and you say yes, you're going to be moving quickly. Things are going to be blossoming. Harvests are going to be here. Rewards are going to be here. You're going to be stepping it up. You're going to be moving into that uncomfort, that discomfort. But you're going to be doing so willingly because you know that's what it's going to take to get to the next level. So stick to your passion here. Don't let that flame go out. Don't let someone blow your flame out, okay? You can always recover that flame. It's eternal, but it does take a lot of energy and work. So rather than getting sidetracked and then having to spend a lot of energy rebuilding your power, just say no in the first place and call it as you see it. If you're wondering about it, you may as well protect yourself and take a little bit of time to address the situation, to look at it from different perspectives. If you're having trouble with something where you're not sure the deception and the wisdom in the situation. So our little clarifier, my quick clarifier is what I was going for there, is the Galactic Goth Oracle. Oh, this one's awesome. New inspiration. If you guys are purchasing my cards, I have fixed this so there's no white line at the top if you're wondering what's going on there. But new inspiration. So this really means that spirit is coming through with a new idea. And perhaps that's why this energy is coming in, because some people can sense that you're ready to take it to the next level. Could be in your business, could be in terms of how much love you have to give and what you really mean. You're knowing your value more. You're standing in your value. So other people are going, whoa, that person's going places, or this person's confident now. They really are holding themselves in high regard. And so they see this and sense this energy. And for some, it would be kind of a conquest to actually get through your wisdom and deceive you. But you are going places. Spirit wants you to receive this new inspiration, to write, to connect, whatever it is for you that means something that you're passionate about. That new inspiration is coming in quick. So that's why you have to be a little bit aware of the energies that might be coming in just to tempt you and take you off your path. You'll get there. You'll get back to where you're going, but you might decide to take a detour. And either one is really neutral, but it depends on how much suffering and or extra lessons you want to go through in terms of what choices you're going to make here in the near future. So that is the general reading. A lot of very interesting energy there. Definitely some warning. Or just be on the lookout, be on the watch. Use your intuition, choose wisely. A lot of healing and going to the next level. But overall, a much more balanced state of being at this point, and using your wisdom and going towards your passion. So overall, I do feel like it's a really strong reading in terms of that creative fire, that imagination, inspiration, spirit saying, I'm here for you. I got you. So just be open. Keep your eyes open. Listen. Pay attention to these opportunities that are coming through, or inspiration where you're going to have to act on it to bring it into form. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that reading. A lot of energy coming through, but still pretty reserved. They're keeping it tight, so it's not pretty expansive. This is, I feel like, a very close energy, so they're keeping it really close so that we stay focused one step at a time. If you would like a card pull for yourself, I'd be more than happy to pull a card for you today. And so what I usually do is if you want a card reading, just put yes, please in the comments, and I will pull a card for you, no problem. And that is your personal card. But if other people are watching and you stay to the end, these messages have a way of applying to whoever is watching or finds themselves catching the replay. Now, as with all general readings, some of this video might not resonate with you, but there might be messages that do. So you take what resonates and you leave the rest. All right, Kathy, let's do your reading for the day. I'm going to use the Wisdom of Avalon because I'm just really feeling that. I don't know if you guys saw, there was a little girl that pulled a 1,500-year-old sword from a lake. And I was just thinking, how beautifully Arthurian is this? I love it. I would have loved to be that little girl pulling that sword out of the lake. Trust. So Kathy, your energies for this week are trust, resonating to the number 4-7. Well, I'm going to read this one out. Of course, we know what the basic meaning is. Let's go a little bit further. Do you have issues with faith? Do you have expectations of betrayal? Interesting considering the warnings we just got in the general read. Do you trust the mystery? Do you insist on mapping each tiny detail of your life, believing yourself to be the center of the universe? This marker reminds you that trust is required to move forward on your path. Belief and trust in a higher power is about having faith that the outcome will be what it should be, no matter what it is. It is timely for you to place your trust in the divine, in your angels, and in the knowledge that there is a divine plan for all. This marker also asks you to remember that humankind is imperfect, and even if you place your trust in another, there is potential for this trust to be broken. This means that you need to be discerning and not trust blindly. Oh, there's a secondary warning for all of us. So simply, trust is is what we have to do. We can't block ourselves off from everything. Sorry. But we do have to discern. So, Belle here, she didn't actually trust blindly. She was like, no, you're a beast. Like, I'm not really into how you're treating your staff, right? And how you treated my father. So you're paying attention. You're not trusting blindly. If someone's showing you signs that they're untrustworthy, you're going to go, okay, there's signs that they're untrustworthy. Not like, oh, I'm kind of making these things up. I might be jumping to conclusions. No, you're trusting yourself. You're trusting yourself first. Then you're going, this person may or may not be trustworthy, rather than everyone is trustworthy until they're not. So be mindful of who and what you place your trust in. Is this person, thing, or situation worthy? And it is totally fair to ask yourself that, because you're holding yourself to a higher level of value. So it says, in a relationship between you and the mystery, you and the god goddess, and you and the divine living planet, there is a sacred relationship where trust is never broken. Only you can break it by forgetting who you are, a spirit in temporary human form. Remember who you are. And perhaps that goes back to the mermaid and the turtle. In terms of an elder will teach you, that elder can be Mother Earth. That elder can be nature, teaching you, reminding you what the importance is. Not the ego, not the materialism, but your learning, your growth, your ascension as a soul, as a spirit. And so coming back to that truth for you this week is going to be important, but also trusting your instincts, trusting your gut. Those are also really important. So in that regard, there's a small extension that you can use. Trusting the universe that there will be signs if a person is untrustworthy. It's only up to us to pay attention to those signs. So very intriguing. Another energy of that being very aware that there is shadow energy. There are people who haven't worked on their wounds, and we don't want to entangle with them if we don't have to. Because sometimes the best medicine for those people is for them to learn the hard way, that they can't lie and manipulate and control and have everything that they want. They have to sacrifice those manipulation tactics. They have to change how they approach people in order to actually be able to trust and actually be able to love and receive and give love. So in that regard, you standing in your power and saying no to any behavior that is not up to your value. Sorry guys, I thought I would turn that off. That is where that importance comes in terms of trusting yourself first. Okay, so did anybody else want a reading here? I'll pull a card just for you. If not, I will be going ahead and doing Aquarius and Pisces. If you didn't know already, just go check the channel. I've made playlists for all the other horoscopes, basically, so your zodiac signs. And I call them horoscopes, just makes sense. If you're interested in a particular reading style, let me know, and I can try that definitely. But go ahead and take a look at your tarot scope, see if it resonates for you. There might be some good messages for you in terms of what you're going through, what's coming up for you. And we will catch you next time. Next Saturday will be the general read. So thank you guys all for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, it would mean a lot if you support the community, the Kindred Tribe, and give us a thumbs up or subscribe. If you want to know when I'm coming on live, because I do most of my videos live, just hit the notification bell and that should let you know when I'm coming online. So without further ado, I wish you all a wonderful day, and I will catch you on the flip side. Ciao for now. Bye.